Hello and welcome to This Week in Wrestling. Jennifer Louise is away for one more week. I'm Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com. Joined by
all of you.
Mr. Happy himself, Ross Twaddell, and Mr. Tired himself, Jack the Jobber.
What are you then, Mr. What?
Mr. Captain Retro.
I'm Captain Comedy.
Captain Comedy. This is the January the 7th edition of the program. We're going to get straight into it with a big one. Triple H returning on Raw after he tore his quads in a career-threatening injury. It was rumoured, and at one point it was believed that he wouldn't be returning. He did return, and then...
He rocked some double denim.
He did. I love the double denim.
I like the jacket. Didn't like the Jeremy Clarkson jeans.
No,
Never a fan of them.
Was this the My Sacrifice video package?
It would have been.
Yeah.
It was the 2000, January, the big Madison Square Garden Poppington.
Yep, and he announced that he was going to enter the Royal Rumble match, and then he went on to win the Royal Rumble match. Good Rumble.
Then
Yeah,
Stephanie ruined the WrestleMania program with her stupid dog.
It was Triple H. It was their dog.
It was their dog, but
Yeah.
she brought it in. It's her idea, clearly. Clearly her idea. Ruined Chris Jericho.
Feel the hatred emanating from you. So yeah, one of the best returns ever.
I
think
was
it's
so
fair to say.
excited as a child because Triple H was my favourite.
He was your guy, wasn't he? Over the Rock and Austin.
Yeah, and he'd never been heel. I mean, he'd never been babyface as long as I'd been watching. This was the first time he'd been babyface. I didn't know the terms heel and babyface, but everyone was cheering for him. I was like, this. Everyone now. I was right. I was right. He is a good guy, really.
He sure is.
And then he, turned on Shawn Michaels a few months later.
Yep.
But at the time, he won the Rumble. It was like if Sunderland had won the FA Cup for me at that point. I was like, my guys won the Royal Rumble. Thinking that Triple H never won anything. I was like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, he's been permanently held back as Triple H in his career. I'm going to sound stupid here. Have Sunderland ever won the... I almost said the Rumble there. Have they ever won the FA Cup?
2 times.
1973.
1973.
Bob
and
Stoker, who won the FA Cup.
Who's Bob Stoker?
The manager, Stoko, the manager
Stoko.
when we won in 73, and we've won it in 37 as well. That's how you remember. So come
73, you swap them round.
So come 2037, we're going to Wembley.
Are they in the right league to win that now?
The FA Cup doesn't it, you know what?
I'm
let's carry
coming
on.
across as
They're in the
people
football
hate
league, so
me.
they can be in it.
Okay, sweet. We move on to January the 8th,
Good wrestling analysis.
1998, and this is the debut of WCW SmackDown, better known as Thunder.
Oh right, I was like, hang on.
The B Show. And it was the debut episode, as I say, created on the order of Ted Turner due to the massive success of Monday Nitro. I remember Bischoff telling a story, and they phoned him up and they said, we're going to do another one, another show, and him just being like, okay.
I remember Kevin Nash on kayfabe commentaries ran you through how you book 2 shows in 1 week.
Right.
So you book the show, the Nitro on the Monday, then you have to book the following Nitro on the Monday, and then work your way backwards and do it like that. So 2 ahead and 1 back.
Right.
Well,
That's
that
complicated, isn't it?
That
I
makes
think that's how he said it.
that really makes the B Show seem like filler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're just using it to fill the gaps, and sometimes there's not even gaps.
No, it's one of those things like it debuted and it was a pretty strong show, but it never quite felt it never felt like the SmackDown to WWE's Raw, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It always
I mean, this
did
is the
really
reason
feel
SmackDown
like
became a thing.
Yes.
So obviously, WCW had a hand up or a leg up on the night there WWE didn't have a show.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vince Russo quit. Partially because of it.
Didn't Vince Russo win his belt on an episode of Thunder?
Yeah.
Nice. That's great.
It sure was.
David Arquette as well.
Or maybe
Was that Thunder?
Maybe I'm thinking of Arquette then. Maybe it was Arquette that won it on Thunder.
I'm sure some
Russo.
They said it.
Let us know in the comments.
House did.
Don't say that about Arquette. I love the fact
Back
that
then he was.
Yeah, he was. I love the fact that he's trying to undo the wrong that... I don't want to say he did. It wasn't him.
You're not going to say no, are you? If Vince McMahon walked up to you and said, "Do you fancy beating Brock Lesnar?" What would you say?
Yes, please. But can we not have a match? Because I think it might go poorly. I'm all for David Arquette. He's not really a star anymore, is he? Not in the same way that, like back then, he was called
Ready to rumble.
Arquette, and
He voiced Eddie in SSX Tricky.
is that right?
Yeah, he
Didn't
wasn't the
know that.
character
Good
I
game.
chose. I was the Simon guy. Simon with a P, the punk one.
Yes, yeah.
I like JP as well, the French one. Anyway,
I only know him from 3 films, but I'm not much of a film guy.
Arquette.
Ready to Rumble, scary movie. That's him, isn't it? Officer
Was he in
Dewey.
Scary
Is it
Movie?
Officer Dewey? He plays?
Yeah.
And then
It's a lovely character.
The Scream. Yeah, very progressive.
Yeah, right.
Is it Scream? Scream.
Well, Scary Movie was a parody of Scream and other horror films, obviously. I don't know if I've never seen Scream.
But then wasn't Scream also a bit of a parody as well?
Yeah, it was meant to be, and everyone took it as a serious horror. So it was a parody of a parody.
Oh, I was the coolest kid on Halloween when I had the Scream mask.
Everyone had that. Did you have the one that the blood flowed
No,
down?
the thing is, I went to a Halloween party.
And mine popped.
Anthony from my year had the one where the blood...
So you just looked like a bellend.
I was like...
Poundland Anthony.
Anthony was like the most popular kid in the year. It was really annoying.
Oh.
He was good at football.
And his parents had enough money to buy a pump action.
My parents didn't have to buy a pump.
Oh, no, that sounded horrible.
Wow.
That sounded like... I didn't mean it like that.
I was the poor child.
Sorry, Graham and Tiffany.
Helen.
That's a real name. That's a shoot name, right?
That's a shoot name, yeah.
Moving on to January the 8th of 2014, and WWE announces the WWE Network.
Never caught on. Let's move on.
No. So originally, the network was meant to be a TV station. They announced
back
it
in the 80s, wasn't it?
Oh, no, I was talking
Vince-
because they announced it the first time a few years previous to this, and it was set up as it was going to be a cable.
I'm just going off what Bruce
Show.
Pritchard said.
Network.
Apparently, back in the 80s, Vince was like, we're going to have our own network. There was going to be a 24-hour channel of wrestling.
Just the best decision they've ever made.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Like,
Not for the wrestlers.
No,
Because
true.
pay-per-view payoffs changed, obviously. But
It's
yeah.
It's
Imagine our job without it.
Oh, it'd be
where would we get the
difficult.
screenshots?
Don't know.
No, it's as important to WWE
As it is to us.
like as to like the rock and wrestling stuff. It's that big.
And they're gonna take it away soon. No, imagine if they did though. Imagine if just they announced
It
that.
can't stay at $9.99 forever.
I
Obviously,
know.
we've been
Yeah.
talking about it for a year now, but the tier thing where they're going to incorporate Progress ICW, that might happen. But it's great. You know, it sort of proves, and the same way that Spotify and all that sort of stuff does, and Netflix, that if you make something accessible and affordable, then people will pay, and people will engage with the product as well.
Oh, your marketing side's coming out now.
No. I think it's great.
I mean, for
really
what you get, it's a steal for $9.99
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
think about
yeah,
it.
it is.
So
All the
don't put it
historicals-
up. I know you listen to our content, WWE, but do not
Hello,
put the
Big
price
E.
up, yeah?
Hello, Vince.
But
Who's the other one? Brian.
we are getting shafted though because it's $9.99 for them. It's £9.99 for us.
VPN.
Should be about
If you're a VPN.
$7.21 or something.
Yeah, right. Not with the way the pound is now.
No, bloody.
It's another discussion for another day.
Brexit.
So yeah, love the network.
Yeah.
They sold $9.99 t-shirts. Do you remember that when they first launched it?
Do you remember when
$9.99?
JBL would have the cards?
No.
He would say,
Yeah.
you could pay, whatever, $35 on a one-off payment for a pay-per-view, but if you pay $9.99, you can get... Oh, they were so
The other commentators are going like, it's an obvious choice, really. Yeah.
You did a Stevie
Not
Aaron
Stevie
voice.
Aaron. It's an obvious choice. Get a red stripe from the bar.
The only thing I guess holding it back, and it's a completely like reasonable thing, that you don't get the original music. That can be frustrating when they've redubbed like Jericho in WCW and he's got his Break the Walls Down and all that stuff. That's annoying, but it's a minor complaint.
They
isn't it?
rarely cut stuff out, but didn't they cut out like Ric Flair kissing Becky Lynch?
It's like,
Yeah, that is cut from the network.
And rightly so.
It's like Scott Steiner's infamous fall off the aprons. It's been shot from a different angle, so the valve is bad.
Ah.
Stuff like that's annoying. And also, put a quality adjuster in. Put one of those in.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed. And
you know that.
upgrade from Flash. Nobody uses Flash anymore. HTML5 boys here.
Yeah. Wiggity wah.
Rock and roll, all the ladies love us, right? Let's go.
Moving on to January the 9th, 2006, one of the most infamous and a very highly rated, not highly rated, drew high ratings. It
Two
is-
very different things.
Yeah.
You remind. That's a.
Go on.
That's a weird anecdote.
Go on.
So, in sixth form, one of the A levels I did was classical civilization.
Okay.
Which was just history, but ancient Greece and that, with a bit of literature thrown in as well. And one of the modules we had to do was on sculptures and that sort of thing. And we weren't children either. We weren't like young kids. We were like 17, 18, tittering away at how these statues were perceived as erotic. And our teacher was like, now, not in a weird way, but I do find this statue very erotic. And it's just some like woman with her boobs there. But it's a stone. It's a
Why
rock.
would a teacher say it? Not in a weird way,
He was trying to point out how...
to.
He was trying to teach us how to write about this thing and use the term erotic correctly in this context. But with the contrast of the smooth and the rough
Right.
of the stone and all that. And we were just like, sir's a pervert.
Speaking of perversion,
I've got one about a teacher.
Go on.
It was just a naughty girl at the back of class in one of the science labs, just flicking the switch on and off because she was a badass lady. And the chemistry teacher just turned around and went, "Stop it, lady." I forget her name. "You're flicking my switches and turning me on." And I just turned back around and started writing on the board.
Oh, goodness.
He soon lost his job.
He lost his job for it.
I don't think it was because of
Yeah.
that. Related issues, I guess. He's a bit like he's one of them. "You're flicking my switches and turning me on." Just turn around and start writing. We were in year 9, I think, at this point. Lost our bananas, we did.
There was a teacher who I'm not going to name, obviously, and he lost his job for something, I guess, similar, and it was covered in the local paper, and there was like a board up in the assembly room of all the great things that have happened. It's like, oh, best sports day ever and all this stuff, and we cut the paper, cut the clipping out of the paper and slotted it in the top, and it was there for weeks. Anyway, if you didn't get what we were talking about, this is Edge and Lita's live sex celebration. So the show got a 4.3 rating. The live sex celebration segment got a 5.2. What does that tell us?
Sex sells.
There we go. That's correct, Mr. Jobber, student jobber. It was the last segment to get a 5.0 rating. Or plus, prior to the horizontal tango. Oh, sorry, the last one before this was Triple H Batista, the contract signing.
I don't know. This was this good? I mean, it got
Textbook work from the pair of them.
got Edge over well as like a sleazy,
Yep.
like just a arrogant weird man.
And in fitting with Lita's character, however right or wrong that was, it was in fitting with her character at the time. On to January the 9th, 2009, and departures ahoy. Bloodletting among WWE staff as 10% of their workforce got cut. Huge
10%?
for a corporation. It was massive,
Wow.
isn't it? Among those receiving a pink slip, D'Lo Brown,
Oh.
Val Venus,
Oh.
Kevin Thorne,
Yeah.
Bam Neely.
No.
Oh, and things were never the same again. Referee Jimmy Corderas.
Oh.
Tim White.
Poor
sad
Tim
one.
White. Yeah. Poor Timmy.
Who else? And Vince McMahon's two limo drivers.
Did they drive at the same time?
So yeah, let's go down. What's D'Lo Brown doing now? He made a brief return earlier this.
I'll tell you what he's doing. He's making the rounds as a meme. Because when you see, for example, today, I'm going to peel back the curtain here. Jose Mourinho was sacked today by Man United. And there's D'Lo Brown as a meme now. Paul Pogba walking into training tomorrow morning. It's one of D'Lo Brown's entrances where he's probably giving it that and shaking his head and going wild.
I can't do it. I've got a very long neck. Somebody pointed it out, saying that I've got a neck like a giraffe in one of the videos this week. It's fair enough. I do have a very long neck.
Neck shaming. You ought to be
I
ashamed.
can do that, but I can't.
I've got a really thick neck.
It is quite girthy. How do you manage that? Exercises.
No, it's just always
Just
been like
picture you at home.
I'm so satisfied with myself all the time. Or so apathetic. I'm
Val Venus, I don't know what he's doing now.
He's high.
Yeah, he's a big cannabis
big
advocate.
weed lad.
Kevin Thorne, don't know what he's doing now. Bam
Wrestles.
Neely. Yeah, he does.
Teamed with Dragonizu.
Is that right?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
he did.
Yeah.
They had
Yes.
a hardcore tag team match
Nice.
against Project Ego, I think it was.
Nice.
Could Mordecai have ever been big?
Yes, but he pissed it up by getting arrested. I listened to an interview.
What?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Is that Kevin? No, it's a different man.
No,
Kevin
it's
Thorne.
Mordecai and Kevin Thorne were the same person.
No. I've never.
Head cheese.
One had white hair, the other had dark hair.
Yeah, I thought they're different men.
That's all that changed,
Yeah,
yeah, just
same-
dark hair.
same
But yeah,
guy.
he was in for a big push in a WrestleMania match and he got arrested and then they were like, we can't trust you.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
Tim White
Oh, bless him.
committing suicide every week.
They were
on that
great, weren't
horrible-
they?
Yeah,
They were
nasty.
weird.
Tune in next week to see how Tim White might kill himself.
Really awful. Anyway, let's move on. January the 11th, 1993. It's the debut of the flagship, or former flagship. Now SmackDown's got all that cash. It's Monday Night Raw. The first ever Monday Night Raw.
Never caught on, let's move on.
No.
Second time I said that this video.
Are we agreed that the biggest thing that happened that everyone remembers from that Raw is Bobby Heenan trying to get into the venue?
From the first Raw ever, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hilarious. Genuinely funny.
You know, I mean, you did that brief run of 2, or like 1 for you, North pre-show quizzes. Well, we're not the champions anymore. I lost that, and it was because of this Raw.
Okay.
The tiebreaker question was who did Undertaker face in the main event. Or no, it wasn't
I'd have
that,
been all
because I would have
over
got
that.
it then. It was who wrestled in the main event.
Ah, okay.
And then Boris, the Russian lad, went, Damien Demento, Boris loves New Generation.
Very nice. It was The Undertaker and Damien Demento.
What a weird main event.
Yeah, it is a weird main event. Elsewhere on the card, Yokozuna versus Koko Beware. Yokozuna won. Steiner Brothers defeat the Executioners. Dwayne Gill, one half of the
I bet
Executioners.
they absolutely snapped them in half. Poor lads.
Yeah, they and Shawn Michaels and Max Moon defended for the IC strap. What can you say about Raw?
They did a great service this past January, didn't they? Raw 25. It was a good old hoot.
Back in the Manhattan set,
Kenny,
poor bastard, paid to get out there and saw about 40 minutes.
Of course, Kenny went to the old one.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
I would have picked the old one.
Yeah, so would I.
But what did they do?
One cool
they had
thing.
the Finn thing.
DX had a promo.
They all battered the Revival.
Yeah.
One cool thing happened. The Miz won the IC belt and then got a car to the next venue and then came out with the IC belt.
Yes.
That was all right.
Yeah.
But the rest of the show.
Just a bad show. We did a live stream of it, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was just
drank whiskey
mad.
straight, didn't we?
Yeah.
They had Vince open the show, fair enough. Austin came out and stunned him and stuff. Austin, one of the best promos ever. Never got on the mic. No.
But that was probably the best part of the show.
Yeah, it was. By
far the biggest pop for sure, and it was the most entertaining part. It's so underwhelming.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
12th of January 1992, one of the most famous heel turns ever. HBK super kicks Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window.
He was trying to escape.
And it's the only thing that people really talk about when they talk about the barbershop. It was a pretty long-running.
Was it?
Show. Yeah. But Brutus had been doing it, but plenty of guests
When
anyway.
did Piper smash the coconut on Jimmy Snooker's head?
Yeah, that's the other one. No, that was Piper's Pit. That's
Piper's
Oh,
Pit.
yeah, of course it was. Oh,
so,
well.
yeah, people don't. I don't know. You don't really think of Brutus as much of a talker, but he was okay. He was a decent enough host of the segment, I guess. But yeah, everybody, if you think of the barbershop, you think of the barbershop window and HBK kicking Jannetty through it. HBK would, of course, go on to do everything.
Yeah.
And Marty Jannetty would go on to maybe try to sleep with his daughter, who wasn't his daughter.
That's right.
There we go.
Just to clarify, he asked on Facebook if it's okay to sleep with somebody, as I touch your leg there, Adam, sleep with someone who you believe could be your daughter.
I don't think he's a very well guy, unfortunately.
Have you seen...
Imagine being the Jannetty. He's actually Jannetty.
I don't like that, me.
No, it's not. He's a good wrestler, bloody hell.
Yeah, good wrestler, but he just had no charisma, did he?
Ross touching your leg there reminded me of Jamie Carragher and Thierry Henry's reaction when Brandon Rogers got... Was it Brandon Rogers who got...
Brendan Rodgers got sacked.
Brendan Rodgers, sorry. The Liverpool manager got sacked. The two pundits on Sky, former players, Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher, and they announced it live. They're breaking news. The Liverpool manager's been sacked. And Thierry Henry, all flamboyant and French, just goes... Puts his hand on Jamie Carragher, this hard scouse man. And Carragher looks down the camera and goes... It's so good. Football people watching this will know it's one of the best. It's like such a good reaction gif.
I remember, was it maybe Match of the Day or something? I'm not a football fan, obviously. They showed...
You're a big Watford fan, aren't you?
I'm a huge Watford.
I used to think you were.
So really?
I saw one picture on your Twitter before I knew you.
Me and my mate Ed. Yeah, we went to the one game that I've ever been to. It was brilliant. So fun. Igalo to the tune of Gold by Spandau.
Yeah,
brilliant.
good, yeah.
I love singing and
chanting. It's like wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, I get it. But I just don't watch it. And there was a thing on Match of the Day, and they showed this, I think it was a comic relief thing with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Warwick Davis, sorry. Yeah. And it goes back to the studio. I think you know where I'm going with this, maybe?
No, I don't know.
Ian Wright's there, and he's just going, I just love the little people, man. It's on YouTube. What? It's so
Warwick
good.
Davis is there.
Yeah, no, they weren't in the studio.
That's all right. It's not all right.
He was pissing himself because of the height of a.
So we've learned that Ian Wright, former Arsenal legend, writes WWE Raw, and every single segment where Finn Balor's too small.
Moving on to the 13th of January in 2014, one of my favourite face turns ever, despite the fact that he wasn't face for very long. Daniel Bryan, who had joined the Wyatt family after Bray had got in his ear, and he
wasn't heel for very long.
Wasn't heel for very long. Sorry, did I say face
You
for very
did.
long? Oh, sorry. Wasn't heel for very long, for 2 weeks maybe? 2-3 weeks, that was
Something
it.
like that, yeah.
And then they had a steel cage match with the Usos. The Usos won, and then Bray just berates him after the match. And says, bow to me. Daniel Bryan bows. Everybody's, no, don't do it, Daniel. And then Bray sets up for the Sister Abigail. Bryan escapes, or doesn't escape. No, he does. He escapes, and they end up having a bit of a scrap. The wires are locked on the outside.
Oh, come on, hey.
Daniel Bryan ends this episode of Raw, a really good episode of Raw, atop the cage. Yes, and the audience, the reaction in the arena, like just huge.
He didn't even go on to win the Rumble.
No.
Well, he didn't even go on to be in that Rumble.
No.
Boo, Rey Mysterio. Prick. Took his place.
Right.
How dare he?
Yeah, imagine the poor Rey getting booed on the way out.
Well, I mean, I think that this is one of those moments that shows why WWE changed their minds and put him in the main event and had him win.
Absolutely.
Because it was just...
But they should have known at this point. Yeah. That was the plan, wasn't it? It was just going to be a singles match.
Who was going to be the face? Batista. Because he returned.
At that time, yeah.
But they all booed him.
Blue-tista.
Wow.
Boo-tista. Underwhelming.
What are some of your favourite...
Who, Batista?
Yeah, that return was bad.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree.
What are some of your favourite... Because everyone knows like what good heel turns there are, but what are your favourite babyface turns?
I've actually just done a top 10 list on this, which will be out by this time. So you say yours first.
I've got no idea.
They're less memorable generally than heel turns. My favourite ever, personally, is Andre the Giant. Turning face just before the end of his WWE in-ring career, and he's with Heenan in the ring. They've just lost to Demolition for the tag titles, and Heenan gets in his face and berates him because he's upset that his giant has lost, and he's poking at him, and then Andre grabs him, slaps him about. Heenan sells like an absolute maniac. It's fantastic, and one of the last times that you see Andre the Giant, he's getting cheered out of the building. He took out Haku as well, who he was teaming with at the time, and just a really heartwarming moment, because I guess the real life implications, Andre knew that he didn't have that much time left, and sending him out as the hero that he sort of deserved to be was really nice.
The Shield had a good one when they turned and stood up to Evolution.
Yeah,
that was
that's
pretty good as well. Yeah, and also when Mark Henry went, no, I'm not a heel anymore. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Basically, Randy Orton had to wrestle some heels, but like because they were heels, one or two of them struck a deal where they were like, "We're gonna lie down for you, Randy, or get counted out or whatever." Looks like Henry was gonna do the same. Smiles wide and goes, no.
We touched on one earlier, thinking about it. The Batista's
that's a good
thumbs
one.
down is really good. So he picks up the SmackDown contract, making it look like he's going to wrestle JBL at WrestleMania. They're all going, they're going like that.
That's really funny.
It's really
the image
good.
of Flair and
It's
Triple H going like
and
that.
then
It's so
Batista.
Good. Yeah. Oh.
Face turns. It's a really, really good one. Ross?
Austin at WrestleMania 13. You need hindsight, I guess, to look back at that one.
The double turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mr. Perfect on Primetime Wrestling when he pours the
Good
water
shout.
on Bobby Heenan. And Kane. Do you remember that moment where they do that? Whoa! And Undertaker's on the top of the ramp going, whoa!
Yeah. That's a good one.
What a moment. Emotional. Whoa.
Another one's just come to mind. Randy Savage, when he
of
with Elizabeth, and he had lost the retirement match to the Ultimate Warrior. And no, Warrior was hot, obviously, and hot, really
super hot.
And,
sexy bastard.
Yeah, he's in the ring, and Sherry once again is berating him.
Yeah.
The theme here, and then Elizabeth jumps the ramp, takes out Sherry, and they embrace, and that's a lovely, lovely moment.
Yes.
And then he went on to commentary, and then obviously WCW.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just one unfortunate death this week in wrestling. It is Ludwig Borger. We talked about him last week.
Died soon after his birthday. Not years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, sad as any. I don't have too many memories of him. I said last week that he's the wrestling figure that I didn't have, but looked to be a big star in WWE.
Ended to tank his streak.
There you go. We will move on a more positive note to birthdays, and what a way to kick things off. It is January the 8th, Bushwhacker Luke.
Which one's Luke?
Well, they look the same. He's the one that didn't require assistance standing at their Hall of Fame induction. It's the way that Butch is. Well, they're a brilliant tag team, not so much in WWF, although I loved them as a kid.
The Sheepherders,
Sheepherders, brutal.
Yeah, horrible. Well, gnarly is the word, not horrible. Gnarly.
I've seen Bushwhacker Luke in the flesh.
Me too.
Well, you weren't there when I saw him.
I dream about him every night.
Where did you see him?
I saw him in Ventnor Winter Gardens on the Isle of Wight.
Wait, what?
Yeah, during a tour without Butch, because I think Butch had retired at the time.
Right.
It must be really
You saw him
hard.
wrestle.
Yeah.
I saw him just walking about in a Bushwhacker
WrestleCon.
Luke t-shirt. Backstage at Super Card of Honor. When you
What?
When you were in Orlando watching NXT Takeover,
Yeah.
I was in Lakeland, a lovely city, watching wrestlers backstage.
Yeah.
At Super Card of
Why
Honor.
was Bushwhacker Luke of all people?
I don't
Ring of
know.
Honor?
But everyone was shaking his hand, paying their respects to him, and that I didn't.
Nice.
Couldn't get near him.
I didn't,
No, I
because
didn't
I'm
want
bigger
that.
than him. I've got more Twitter followers than
No, I
him.
didn't.
That's a quote.
You taking down the ring after this kid? Carry my bags.
Was it him? It was Luke that was eliminated from the Rumble at the time record.
Was it the quickest one? Nice.
There you go. January the 8th.
Did you know, by the way, I think it's Luke. He's related to Eric Young.
What?
Is he?
Because I was watching... I was watching the Christmas episode of TNA. I think it's Luke appears. And Eric Young's like in this like living room setting, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it looks like. Just having Christmas with Santa and whatnot. And, oh, it's old Luke, he says. Not in that accent. That's the Bushwhackers accent. But yeah.
No, I had no idea
Distant
about that.
relation
I like that.
to Eric Young and TNA.
You're good at the facts, aren't you? You always whap out a fact.
Just got a good memory, you know.
Yeah. January the 8th. The Masterpiece, Chris Masters.
Chrissy M.
Saved his mom from a burning fire.
Yeah.
And
Amazing.
yeah. He bear hugged a tree to move it.
That is crazy, isn't it?
You hear stories about like mothers lifting cars off their child.
Just to get the adrenaline and
Yeah. But he was also a massive blow.
Jesus Christ.
One half
one
of
of the
the
masters of
greatest tag
cool.
team
Here
in
we go.
history. The Masters
Yes.
of Cool. Five-star wrestler.
5-star. Yeah, he came back for a brief period, and then they ended up getting him he would come out and do the pec flex dance thing.
It was a babyface run for a guy we're all envious of
Yeah.
at the time.
I like the Masterpiece gimmick.
Yeah.
Thought that was good.
Like Rick Martel, but no, not really more big than pretty.
Luger, I guess, sort of nasty.
Yeah,
Lex
no,
Luger
yeah.
sort of thing.
Strong cape game.
Who broke the muscle then? Was it Cena?
No, it was Bobby Lashley.
Oh, yes, of
yeah,
course
yeah.
it was. Just want to give a message to my family. I love you. Well, how weird was that?
It was weird.
In hindsight.
Did
Yeah.
you like him when he was in his first run?
I
Masters?
wasn't watching at the time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
All Masters.
Masters, yeah.
Once he teamed up with Carlito in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, I thought you were going to...
solidifying the decades-long friendship that would become the Masters of Cool. That's when I got on board with Christopher Masters, yeah.
January the 9th is the leader of the Riot Squad,
And
Ruby Riot.
Disrespecter of the Dead,
Yes.
Ruby Riot.
Yeah, as we're recording this, that just happened, 2 nights ago. The Anvil story just ended even.
Yeah, she got to come up and so, didn't she?
She sure did.
Getting slammed through a table of
With
herself.
her picture on. Oh,
It
imagine
was
coming back
so
from that.
close to my pitch in
Yeah,
the
it
pitches
was.
video. I said there would be tables with the other two on.
Natalia held the wrong table up for me, though. So I pitched
She
Jim
was celebrating,
going, "Yay,"
yeah, with
with a broken table
With
instead of a
Brian
dad.
Ruby on it.
Come here, Dad.
I'm glad that she held up the Ruby Riot table.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I like Ruby Riot.
I think she's the dog's bollocks, me.
I think she's great as well.
It's just a shame every time she has a wrestling match, she loses.
Yeah. She's just got it all, hasn't she?
She's a good talker,
Well,
very good wrestler.
Agreed.
I think she could be like the new Paige. Remember Paige when she first came in? Was like
The anti-diva.
The anti-diva
Nice.
for the freaks and the geeks or whatever it used to be. She could be that today, but they've got her as a heel who loses every week.
What would
Which
that
is a
be?
shame.
The anti-women's revolution. I don't know what that
The
is.
diva.
Yeah, the
Ruby
diva.
Riot.
Somebody should do that.
The diva.
Yeah.
Well, at the time of recording, Lacey Evans is about to be called up. She's like sort of, although she's more of a strong Southern belle.
Carmella did it until she turned face out of nowhere, didn't she?
Yeah.
She's proud of being a diva.
It was Eva Marie.
It
That's
was,
who
yeah.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Once they started doing those ring announcements, I liked it.
Cut down in her prime.
Yeah. Well, we never know what was going to happen. I loved that. Trolling the fans
Stuck
every
in
week.
traffic.
Fantastic.
Eva Marie.
Fantastic. Moving on, January the 10th, Buff the Stuff, the Gigolo Bagwell.
I'm buff, and this is the stuff, is what he said.
It is.
Cough
Before
implants.
hopping into bed with a middle-aged lady as his gigolo
Yes,
run.
I don't think he is a Gigolo anymore. I don't think he's getting
He's
on a
making
bit.
a comeback, isn't he?
Was a Gigolo or a wrestler?
As a wrestler. I think I saw that somewhere. I might be talking bollocks here. I don't know.
fair
He looks youngish. To be fair,
he
to
does.
be
No, he
fair to
does.
him,
He's,
yeah.
he's aged very well. When was he born here? 1970.
Oh.
So he's 48.
I think of 49.
49.
I think of Buff Bagwell whenever Seth Rollins hits the blockbuster.
Yeah,
Something
same
like-
here.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that was Buff Bagwell's
Yeah,
name.
agreed.
Yeah.
The Raw main event, we could talk about that. Never mind. Moving on to January the 10th, Grandmaster Sexay, sadly
very
no
sad.
longer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, one half of Too Cool, obviously.
one of the best. It was Lewis House, our old friend from What Culture, who now lives in Europe. Who we live
Unlike
in Europe.
us.
He once asked. He was doing an article on like the best curtain jerkers of all time. Who's the best to start a show off? And Too Cool were the best example we could all think of.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
They're, I guess, the New Day now.
Yeah, New Day. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Baron. Yeah. Gets the crowd out of their seats.
Oh yes, January the 10th. Ross has just shown more emotion than this person has ever.
Will she smile again? She smiled for the first time ever at TLC. Will she smile on her own birthday?
We are talking, of course, about Tamina Snuka, daughter of Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Henchman to many.
Yeah, and
Henchman for hire. Henchwoman.
She's been around in WWE for a long time.
That's where the word hench comes from.
She's a henchwoman.
Hench, yeah.
It comes from henchman.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Head cheese. January the 11th, Abdullah the Butcher.
Right.
Forehead like a.
How is he still alive?
Yeah, right.
I can't remember what the book was, but I had a book and it was like full of like wrestling bios stuff, like a kid's book. And one of the pictures was just of Abdullah the Butcher. I'd never seen him before. Terrified of him. He looked sinister. It wasn't just that all the carvings in his head and that, although he was big. It was his face as well.
He looks insane. His eyes are. He could fit a penny or a quarter,
a nickel or a dime or something.
One of those in the scar marks.
Parky's bike.
Thank God that we don't see sort of scar tissue like that.
I was listening to the Wrestle Me podcast, and they're going quite an in-depth tangent about his restaurant.
He's got a restaurant.
It's like Abdullah the Butcher.
I don't think I'd want to eat at Abby's restaurant.
No, they call it the second most famous restaurant behind the Ribera Steakhouse. I'm not sure if it is, but
Pasta Mania. Come on.
But it's called like Abdullah's House of. It's like House of
Misery,
House of Wings
Blood.
and Chinese food or something like that. It's fantastic.
We are going. January the 12th, Luna Vachon, also sadly no longer with us. An underrated manager.
Yeah.
And wrestler.
Yeah.
She was terrifying.
Good pair with Bam Bam.
Yeah.
They both looked mental.
She used to do. That's what she.
I got a bit of a fight there, me as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. Sadly, no longer with us again. January the 13th.
I love him so much.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at what I just said. Is one half of Crime Time.
Yo.
It's not JTG. It's Big Shad.
He's an actor now.
Yes.
Remember Justin penning an article for our illustrious website where he showed Shad acting in a sitcom. Forget what sitcom it was, but he's in one.
I can't say I've seen anything with him in.
Yeah, me neither.
He had the chain match with JTG. And that was pretty much the end of him in WWE.
I thought that JTG was going to be a massive breakout star. I thought
he's still young, isn't he?
He's got it.
Is he?
JTG.
Well,
the other one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I know who JTG is.
You don't see the potential in the guy. I could.
He was very charismatic. He's done one of my funniest wrestling moments. Nah, it's not one of the funniest. It's a funny wrestling moment. The Cobra. With Santino, and he sells it.
Thought you were going to say a different
like that, like Shane McMahon on the floor, basically. And finally, on the birthdays, is Cirque du Soleil performer Mason Ryan.
He's the archer.
Bloody hell.
Is that right?
He's the archer.
Massive Welsh bastard. He's huge. He is huge. Former member of the New Nexus.
Yes.
And
just NXT.
And Batista, basically. He was Batista light.
He was, he could have been, I mean, I'm sure he's very happy now doing Cirque du Soleil, but he could have been something maybe.
He's the wrong side of the tracks in the meatless mind castle sector.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to anybody.
Yeah.
Totally. So that is it.
Do you mean mindless meat castle?
Mindless meat
I
castle?
think you said meatless mind castle.
Did I?
I hope so. I really hope so.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Jennifer Louise will be back next week. This has been Ross. Why the...
Just because
no.
I'm thinking about her hating everybody that's watching.
No,
this.
he doesn't.
It's terrible.
He's so nice.
Honest to God, we wouldn't be here without you, and I love you all personally. But Jennifer hates you all with a passion.
Thank you for tuning in. Ross Twaddell, Jack the Jobber. Follow all of us at Cultaholic. patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to...
subscribe.
Join us.